counters dragons by default.
Exactly, that's really fun. Usually it activates, you know, it set up a combo where it turns all of your opponent monsters to dragons. Turns out that when your opponent is already playing dragons, that's even easier. But let's see, they are ready. They draw their opening hands, and let's see who is gonna go first. It seems like it's gonna be Nicolas. Not too happy maybe about this opener, and
He has droplet Daruma Cannon, I think.
and maybe another droplet. Let's see. Yeah, 2 droplets, I think it's might be, or no, only 1. Let's see. He does open the regained, so a lot of those cards that maybe he doesn't want to pick up, set just a couple, and we know Lightning Storm is in the main deck from Stavros, and he opens things up with Prosperity.
And probably this is what he's searching for.
Absolutely. Would be a huge, huge pickup. We did mention Tempai is a deck that naturally wants to go second, and he can put up so much damage. Let's see if he's gonna find the main deck, the copies of Lightning Storm. There it is. 2 more. One last chance. Not
No.
quite. Not quite. So,
However, Infinite Impermanence is a strong card, because if you get locked, you can just have it as a plan B.
but it's the rivalry of Warlords. Interesting choice here. It can work out. It's definitely one of those, you know, one-offs at this point that can be quite annoying, and follows it up with the Sanyan summoning.
Of course, Tempai mods are unaffected during main phase 1 to the field spell.
Yeah, it's an amazing card to use. It protects from a lot of the popular choices. And now, thanks to the Pydra, he gets to grab the Cayman from deck. The rest of his end is another Prosperity, and he does have the cross out in case there is something else from his opponent.
He first searches, then he discards a card.
And he's looking like he will just discard the useless second copy of Prosperity.
He can go for a Black Rose here, since he has Cayman in his hand.
And
Also he has cross out to play around Ash Blossom.
Ooh, but there is the Karma Cannon.
So a very cool interaction, since Karma Cannon cannot set the monsters, and the player sends both to the graveyard. And we have entered the battle
and as
phase.
you can see, I think he had to discard 1, and he forgot to do it. So he needed to discard. As he basically went to discard the Prosperity, and then they went back to the deck, and so he kind of forgot to discard the Prosperity afterwards. So I think that's gonna be fixed right here. As mentioned, yeah, you can, you know, gonna just quickly fix it, as mentioned. I mean, we have mentioned plenty of times how, you know, stressful it can be to play on stream, and it was, if it was, you know, during the event, imagine doing it in the finals, where it all comes down to this. There is a lot on the line, and
let's not forget that Stavros is playing a final that he didn't expect, up against Bash Blader, of course.
Yeah.
And he's also nervous about it.
Yeah, obviously he's gonna get a warning for it, but nothing more. And now we see the desperation, maybe Forbidden Droplet, to just stay in this game from Nicolas. Kind of an underwhelming opening, as you can see here.
He has the cross out though.
Wow, he's playing the droplets of his own. I think this is the first time that we see the cross out on droplet. And this is huge. Great tools by Stavros.
Crossout today has overperformed throughout the whole day.
Yeah, but usually you expect it, you know, in maybe a Snake Eye Mirror match. You don't expect it on Droplet against like two decks that couldn't be more different if you tried. So, as mentioned, though, this is one of those unique decks where you can push a lot of damage, even though Prosperity is gonna half it.
Exactly. And I think that this is the case right here. He can probably OTK.
Let's see. It's gonna be a lot of damage. Pretty sure Nicolas will keep in mind that damage is halved.
He will synchro summon, probably reborn from the graveyard.
Exactly. And now we just keep on pushing more and more damage. Right here in the main deck, there is not much that can be done because most of this is all going to be fire monsters. And we know that Nico is mainly on bestials as interruptions in the main deck. So,
And I think there's no light or dark monster in the graveyard.
And let's see. Gonna perform yet again another summon, and then this will allows him to bring back from the graveyard.
Since he has
His
already
Bident,
attacked 3 times.
Bident Dragon is back. He has Transcendent Dragon as well. And yeah, as you mentioned, this is enough through Prosperity to just close this duel out. Wow, what an opener, and what a fantastic turn of events from Stavros.
It's very interesting that there is a deck now that can utilize the drawback of Prosperity.
Yeah, absolutely. Is it really a drawback anymore? I mean, the card was already amazing, and arguably, I mean, I've discussed this in the past, but I think it might be the best pot card, even better than Pot of Greed in a few situations, just because of, you know, the possibility of seeing 6 cards, especially after side deck. But in this deck, it doesn't even have a drawback, so it's just amazing. But, I mean, you gotta feel bad on the one end for Nicolas, because he won the die roll, but pretty much bricked. He didn't really have anything going on. And now things will go back to the mind games that we mentioned. Because...
will he choose to go first or second? It's very, very tough decision what you will decide to put sent by. Because you have to respect Heat Wave, you have to respect cards like Necro Valley that hurt by Buster Blade. And I think it's a tough decision from Nico.
For sure it is. On the one hand, his side deck is quite promising. He has the 1 copy of Anti-Spell Fragrance, but he's also playing Dimensional Barriers, which can help out quite a bit. So maybe he still sticks on going first. Obviously, I mean, he has 6 copies of, thanks to Trap Trick, of his Prologue, so that card gets you to something that pretty much completely stops your opponent deck.
And can also set a debarrier.
Yeah, exactly. So I think he's probably gonna go first. On the other hand, though, Stavros is in an interesting spot. He has a lot of really good options in the side deck. For example, Ghost Bell is something that has quite the utility. And at the same time, Shifter could also be somewhat useful. But the question is, does he know what he's up against? Does he know how to play against this deck, you know? Probably he was playing last round, so maybe some of his friends, but he couldn't watch the entire stream, as you guys did. So, I mean, he's going to have to improvise a little bit.
Knowing Stavros personally, I believe that he has practiced a lot.
Okay.
So, throughout the years, because he's a very experienced player, he probably has faced again Buster Blader. So, he knows that, for example, Shifter and Bell are very good options.
And I would say, though, this is quite a unique final, because in the past we've mentioned whoever wins game 1, especially in this unknown matchup, as kind of you know, free ride into game 2. They can take unnecessary risks, because game 3 is there, and then they go first and they do their combos. But Tempai doesn't work like that. In game 3, most likely you want to go second, and that can change quite a bit, because I think still this game and this match is quite open, because going second against, you know, Barrier and Buster Bladers, not so easy.
You
So
have to respect the matchup.
I think Nico indeed went first, and I do see a really much better hand, first and foremost, with this black metal dragon. So,
As I can see from Stavros' hand, he already has side in the Ghost Bell, so he probably knows what he's up against.
okay. Do you think he ever uses it here? I wouldn't say so. Yeah, exactly. So now he's just gonna see maybe Hieratic Spheres and some face down. The trap trick is there.
So
which
Deep
is
Bar
huge.
is there.
Wow. Yeah, it seems like it's a very strong hand. I think he has double trap trick. So for next turn as well. Yeah, this is solid. I really, really like this opener. No shifter from his opponent. And so for now, you know, good news. Shifter could still be top decked and it would be good here, but not the
So
case.
it's very important to see if Tempai can play only with Link monsters in order to OTK.
And again, we start things off with this Prosperity.
Again, probably searching for a Lightning Storm.
Yeah. Let's take a look at these cards. Ooh, too late for that shifter, unfortunately. And wow, it's just a lot of monsters. Not that ideal. I think either you get the Tempai, because otherwise you already have the Bell. He's definitely debating. Yeah, Veiler is not it. Ogre is okay-ish, but yeah.
Do you think that Stavros has side in a copy of his own debarrier for the crossout?
Oh,
That would be very interesting.
that would be next level. That would be amazing. Yeah. Maybe. Obviously, you have no way of knowing it. But he does get the second copy of Bell. This gives your opponent some information, of course. But yeah, I mean, outside of that, we are just going to see an impermanence. Gonna resolve.
Respecting the bounce of Seal. Although he can steal special summon from the deck.
And now there is no response. So this will allow Stavros to get his Tempai monster, most likely Hydra.
Yeah, it's Hydra.
And yeah, I mean, it would be shocking, but really nice to see, you know, a cross out. And once again, yeah, he discards a card. Luckily remembers, discards the Ghost Bell.
I really want to see if he's actually has a copy of
that
Jibari.
would be sick. Let's see. I mean, I can see it. Obviously, I mean, a bold move nonetheless. But I mean, I guess we mentioned that it's a good card. It's not like it's completely dead in the matchup. So if you draw it, it's okay. And let's see if there is a cross out.
No.
Maybe not.
Cross out will be instantly activated.
He's thinking though. No, it's not there. Would have been amazing to witness. And I think maybe he was thinking about it. He was like, oh, wow, I could have sided it in.
Yeah, that was exactly his thought. I can guarantee that.
But as mentioned here, although the Hieratic Sphere is negated, you can still use the Graveyard effect to bring the Magnamut. And then that will give you a search in the end phase potentially.
He will chain cross out to Magnamut, banishing his own copy of Magnamut in order to prevent his opponent from searching.
Yeah, fair enough decision. And obviously now, as we did mention, the dimensional barrier has been activated on Synchros.
And probably he will make Seal on main phase 2 and have Bell for the prologue.
And yeah, he's just pushing a fair bit of damage, again halved by the Prosperity. And now he's gonna make some link summons in Memphis 2. His own copy of Erratic Spheres. And with the Bell and the known Kaimen in hand, that's all he has going for him.
He just needs to survive one turn. Nico's probably checking about if he Tempais are affected during his own turn.
The Magna is negated. Now he's gonna consider using this trap trick in the end phase.
I think he should in any case.
For sure. And he does. No, he does not. Okay, interesting. Does not use it and top decks into. Not quite sure. But
probably respecting another copy of Ghost Bell since Stavros discarded the one he added with the field spell.
It's an interesting spot. We know that he's holding a second copy of the trap trick. That could get him, for example, the Karma Cannon later on. But for now, he's going to start things off here with the trap trick. Most likely getting the prologue. Yeah, that's going to be his go-to.
Very important is that the second copy of Traptic cannot activate another prologue since there's no more copies to banish.
Yeah. And now he goes sending the Destruction's Word Memory. Is there going to be a response? Chain Link Chew is going to be the destruction. And there goes the second copy of Bell.
Stavros being patient and knowing about the strategy of his opponent, he just waited for the correct time to use Ghost Bell.
Yeah, and here, as you can see, the card has been stopped from summoning it, but you still get to resolve the first part of the effect, getting a Buster Dragon. And now the good thing for Nico is that he has full information. He knows that the last card in hand from his opponent is the Kaimen. And so he has a little bit of, you know, tools to try and deal with it. And yeah, the great things is, as you mentioned at the beginning in our intro, usually when you go for the Buster Dragon, it's a completely different matchup. You need a setup to turn, you know, your opponent, but in this case, it managed to resolve. And now he's gonna use the Hieratic Sphere to summon something from the deck. And it's gonna be yet again
Hydra.
It's looking good for...
so Stavros has a lot of follow-up. He just needs to get one turn. However, Nikos has again another traptic that may not find a prologue, but can find the barrier.
And no, I don't even think so, because I think he's only using two. So since one is gone, I think a barrier is also gone. As an option.
You're correct.
So I think he only has like Daruma and Impermanence, which is
not enough.
No, maybe not. I mean, the Daruma is okay, but yeah, it's definitely way worse. I don't know the last two cards.
I think he has two traps for sure.
Okay, now we move to the battle phase, and
of course, in battle phase, Tempai cards can be activated, and Tempai monsters cannot be destroyed by battle due to Phaedra.
Yeah. And as you can see here, the advantage is getting out of hand. And as we can see here, yeah.
Of course, Tempai strategy wants to utilize battle phase, not only theirs, but also their opponents to play. So Stavros is probably making a synchro summon. And now he's playing during his opponent battle phase.
Yeah, this is again one of those instances where Nicolas' idea was to use the Buster Blader to destroy one by battle, equip it, and then use the kind of like tribe effect of destroying all dragons, but they are not destroyed by battle. So that effect was completely stopped, and now it's a little bit of an issue if he can get to that position.
As we have said, Senpai is a very interesting strategy coming from the latest set, and as we can see, it has so much potential. Again, Stavros will try to synchro summon, and we should not forget that we are in Nikos' turn.
And yeah, here you see another of the black rose, not quite the one we saw in the previous match, but the black rose moonlight dragon, which is essentially a compulsory effect, bounces back to the end. It's quite annoying here.
And I think that Stavros has everything that he wants in the board.
Yeah, it's looking grim at the moment. It's gonna set a trap trick and another card. Which
I think that it was another copy of Tibar, if I saw correctly.
Oh, okay.
But I don't think that this is enough.
Might not be. We might have a quick 2-0, but it's still early to tell. You know, the Daruma maybe can save him for another turn. But let's say they pick up a lot of great cards. Stavros has sided for this matchup. And he picks up yet another spell, it seems. So gonna go for a synchro right away, or let's see. Obviously, he has banished 6 cards for prosperity, so his extra deck is starting to look a little short.
He will probably try to go for Transcendent Dragon, so his opponent doesn't have effects during the battle phase.
Yeah. And it is.
Yes.
So it is the Transcendent, and now Nicolas is gonna have to try and figure out whether he wants to respond.
A very quite good board now, since during main phase 1 everything is protected from the field spell, and during battle phase, of course, the opponent is locked out from his effects.
Yeah, amazing, amazing stuff from this Senpai deck.
Stavros is playing really well. We can tell that he has practiced a lot.
Ooh,
And the Solemn Judgment.
Solemn Judgment. Brave move by Nicolas.
But I think that losing LP is not the best move against
No,
Senpai.
not against Senpai, if there is a deck. We saw game 1 basically dealing 16,000 damage. So imagine having to deal just 3,000. That seems like a piece of cake, but
I wonder if Traptic can bring something that can help.
ooh, and we get to discard the Lightning Storm, actually. Now, a normal summon. Still, we know that the Kaimen is there, and we might just enter battle phase here. And I think, yeah, the only thing he has left is this Daruma to try and survive. But is it even enough? Because you're forced to use it here due to the Solemn, and then the Kaimen gets you the special summon in the battle phase.
Indeed.
So this might be over if he goes for the Daruma.
Stavros is in a very good spot, playing
Yeah.
amazingly.
Amazing stuff by both, but this might just be it. As he goes through his deck, the only option that he has is the Daruma, and
As
he's
you
forced
mentioned.
to use it. And yeah, he does have the Kaimen. So
I don't think that he has a problem with that.
let's see if he uses it.
And I think the second card in Stavros' hand is Crossout, or he used it for Magnamut.
Yeah, he does. He did use it. Yeah. I think it might be another copy of the field spell. Nothing too relevant, but now, as mentioned, the Daruma resolves. But is this Kaimen gonna be enough? Let's see. You can see Stavros doing some math in his head. I think.
Does he remember that his opponent has activated Solemn Judgment. Is in
wow.
left points.
He's probably counting whether he has sided out, because I think he might be out of Chandra. I think he might have used 3, but yeah, the Cayman goes down. It resolves. Is this gonna be enough for Stavros to close this one out? He goes through his deck. And
summoning
there you go. Pydra is summoned.
Getting another copy of Cayman.
And yeah, gonna push some damage.
He's very close to the ground as the first Greek Open champion.
Super close, but I don't think he can at this point. Yeah, he cannot, so he must move. Another turn is guaranteed for Nicolas. Not over yet. Wow, what a ending again.
What an exciting game 2.
Yeah. And now
he's considering his options.
Yeah, I mean, he knows one of the cards because he bounced back the Buster Blader Destruction Sword Master back to his opponent end. He might just pass even. And he does. Play is back to his opponent.
He has Moonlight, which again can compulsory.
One last draw. Let's see. This could be the last draw of the tournament for Nicolas. He needs a miracle off the top. And he picks up
another copy of Solemn Judgment.
Oh, no way! And that's it! We have a winner of the first ever Greek